I'm Mayor Kurtz from the City of Independence. I want to welcome everyone. You know, I feel very safe this morning. When you look around, you see millions of dollars worth of new equipment. The only thing I don't want to do is take a ride in the helicopter, unless it's just for fun. That being said, I want to thank the school, the representative from the school, Superintendent Marlowe, and all the personnel that have made this presentation possible. I think it's a wonderful opportunity that demonstrates the initiative on the county, by the county, and helping work with smaller communities like Independence and give us resources that we couldn't afford on our own. And so I really appreciate the opportunity to choose Independence as a site. We're blessed. And at this point, I'd like to turn it over to the county executive, Mr. FitzGerald.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming here this morning. We really appreciate the partnership that we have with the fantastic city of Independence. And as the mayor mentioned, this allows the county to fulfill a role working with local communities. We're not a replacement for local efforts, we're a partner with them. Now, we announced at the beginning of my administration that we are going to try to make Cuyahoga County the premier emergency management agency in the state. And in the last few years, we've been trying to do that. Over the last several years, we've been steadily meeting our benchmarks. And this program, which we're really kicking off today, it's a process really that we're kicking off today that we're calling Ready Cuyahoga. We're certifying municipalities, and this process is starting, actually we're launching it today, to certify that municipalities are going to be what we call Ready Certified. Now, what does that mean? Well, it's based on our philosophy that number one, preparedness does begin at the local level with our local partners. Number two, that readiness requires the participation of the entire community. That includes government, the private sector, community organizations, and of course, citizens. And number three, that it also requires a comprehensive approach, and that includes risk assessment, which we work with local communities to do, planning, resources, which you see so many of them here today, education, training, and public outreach. And of course, school safety, it isn't the everything to do with this, but it's a huge part of it. Those of us, actually, Mayor and I really know each other better through, we both have kids that went to the same school and at the same age. My wife and I have 4 children, and we all know that school safety is something that unfortunately has been a challenge for this country in the last few years, and we want to be a part of that solution as well. This is a voluntary certification program. We're hoping that all communities will participate. They don't have to, it's not mandated, but we're ready to work with them whenever they are. What's it going to do for those local communities? Well, first of all, it's going to help them identify any gaps that they might have in their programming, but also highlight any successes that they have with their emergency planning process. Ultimately, it's going to help them increase their preparedness actions, working with the county by implementing specific national best practices and specific organizational, operational, training, and planning activities. Working with our Office of Emergency Management, communities need to do the following things, and I'm going to turn it over to our Emergency Management Administrator, Walter Topp, in a minute. He's going to go through a little bit more of the specifics, but they need to meet 18 out of 24 prescribed requirements to be Ready Certified. They have to meet, there's core standards, he's going to talk about this, and then 6 additional standards besides the 12 non-core standards for a total of 18. The requirements for that can be found on a website that we are launching. That's the website that I mentioned before. It's ready.cuyahogacounty.us. On that website, by the way, you can find materials, and they're broken into 3 separate sections for the business community, the general public, and first responders. It will help you build a kit, make a plan, be informed, and get involved with emergency preparedness. That's always been part and parcel of our whole strategy here. We have CERT here and other community resources that help us do that. This is really a partnership effort. I can't stress that enough. It starts working with kids at a very young age, as you can see behind us, but it also includes getting the very best equipment, the very best training, and working with our excellent partners at the local level, like here in Independence. At this point, I want to turn it over to Walter Topp from our Emergency Management Agency, and he's going to talk a little bit more about the specifics of the program. Walter?
Thank you. The first thing I'd like to reiterate is that in the United States, the primary responsibility for emergency management rests with local communities. In Cuyahoga County, that means the townships, villages, and the cities within the county. They have the primary responsibility for public safety and emergency management. Other levels of government, the county, the state, the federal government, are trained, equipped, and prepared to support and assist local efforts. But again, the primary responsibility, as the mayor here and the chiefs here know, rests with the local community. We think that some of the best assistance we can provide is to help communities prepare ahead of time, and that's the purpose of the two initiatives we're talking about this morning, the website and the Ready certification program. The certification program is standards-based. Standards are a common tool in industry and government to measure performance, and we've developed a set of standards that we believe will create a baseline emergency management program suitable for all of the communities within the county. We actually suspect and we think that the majority of the communities in the county are already in compliance with the majority of the standards. Emergency management is not a new requirement, and we think that people are well prepared now. But this program will provide a roadmap, some additional guidance to the communities, and it'll give us a way to actually measure where we are as a county towards our goal of preparedness for disasters and large-scale emergencies. The standards deal with several specific areas: planning, operations, equipping, training, and administration of emergency management particularly. For example, we ask each community to prepare an emergency operations plan. There's a requirement to begin the foundation of a continuity of operations plan. There's a requirement for a public warning system, certain training requirements. We ask the communities to identify individuals and give them responsibility for emergency management. We ask the communities to develop public education programs so they can encourage preparedness among their residents and the citizens of the county. We think that if a community goes through the program, they will be better prepared. They will have confidence that they will have met some benchmarks, some best practices, and we think that it's overall it'll help preparedness within the county.
Great. So just a couple more words on the program. This is going to be renewed on a 5-year basis. At the point in time where a community is ready certified, they'll be given a certification demonstrated by this plaque, where we officially certify that they have been ready certified under these safety protocols. We wanted to start in Independence actually because of their excellent reputation for safety and the professionalism of their local law enforcement. And as has been said before, it's mostly going to be implementation of a lot of standards that most communities already do, but we want parents to be able to know that these standards have been implemented and recognized. When a tragic event happens, the way that it's resolved is not on the fly. It's by implementing a plan that's already been established, recognized, and trained on, and trained to implement on a repeated basis. And we need to be ready for that before some incident like that even happens. And this program is just going to ensure that the county is helping to make sure all 59 communities in Cuyahoga County eventually meet as many of those standards as we possibly can. Sometimes that's providing training, sometimes it's just the certification process, and sometimes it's helping out financially. Sometimes it's a combination of all those things. But before a situation like that happens, the antidote for that is to have as much training and planning in advance as possible. So I want to thank Mayor Kurtz, all of the safety personnel down here, our partners in Independence. If there's any questions, you can ask us now. I know some of you have asked some of the professionals after the official conference is over and before we got started here. If there's any questions now, we'll do our best to answer, or you can talk to us individually after we wrap up. Thanks very much. Thanks for coming, everybody. Appreciate it.